We call on the white church in Boston to join us in supporting a black reparations movement.
Standing in solidarity, clergy leaders from across the city of Boston gathered for an interfaith, multiracial meeting at the Resurrection Lutheran Church in Roxbury, Nubian Square. They're here to ask the religious community to atone for black Boston suffering and support black reparations.
Reparations. Yeah, boy. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Make sure you get the merch link in the description section. Get you one of these shirts, Shady 20. We also got it in the hoodies as well. So do Shady 20, get 20% off the entire store. And also, if you want to make money, if you love the merch, we have a way for you to make money as well. If you become an ambassador and you share it on your social media, or you tell mama and them about it, you will get a percentage of the sales. So entrepreneurship can go all the way around. If you love it, become an ambassador and sell it to other people and make money. It makes sense to me. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notification anytime we go live. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all stop this. Cut it out. Cut this out. Come on. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all out here playing. I done told y'all to stop playing. Get over here. That's what I feel like doing to these black churches. What y'all still talking about reparations for? What do you mean? Then you got the crazy white people out here trying to secondhand. I want to be around the black and brown. My people are horrible to the blacks. Man, if it wasn't for white people, black people would be in Africa somewhere enslaved. Come on, keep it real. If it wasn't for these white people in America, where would black people be? Now, I know that the slaves went through all that, and that was horrible. We understand that. But my God, look at what God has done with us. He's delivered us. And there were good white people that helped with that. Where do you think Harriet Tubman took the people? To the North where black people were free. Who do you think, how did she get there? They were on a magic carpet? No, they went through houses of white people that risked their lives to free blacks. Who do you think voted for the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment? Freedom of slaves, citizenship, and the right to vote. Republican white people. You go down the list. Black people are the most wealthy, happiest, prosperous people in the world live in America. What reparations are you referring to? Let me let these people play. You should be ashamed of yourself, man of God. Play the clip.
We call on the white church in Boston.
The white church in Boston.
To join us in supporting a black reparations movement.
Standing in solidarity, clergy leaders from across the city of Boston gathered for an interfaith, multiracial meeting at the Resurrection Lutheran Church in Roxbury, Nubian Square. They're here to ask the religious community to atone for black Boston suffering and support black reparations.
And we are coming, as Dr. King said, to get our check.
Organizers from the Boston People's Reparation Commission say they're also following up on their demand on the city of Boston for a $15 billion initial payout.
$15 billion.
To begin the process towards repair and reconciliation to the city's black community.
$5 billion as initial payment around cash payouts, $5 billion around strengthening our financial institutions, creating a new black bank, $5 billion in terms of addressing issues of the education achievement gap between blacks and whites.
In 2022, the Boston City Council and Mayor Michelle Wu offered an official apology for the city's involvement in the transatlantic slave trade.
Why? Why would the city need to apologize to black folks for something that nobody alive had anything to do with? We're sorry that 200 years ago, Boston had something to do with the Atlantic slave trade. No, go to Africa and make them apologize for enslaving us and selling us to the white people. Oh, Boston apologizing. Make them apologize. Make black people apologize to other black people. Y'all the one enslaved us and sold us to the white people. You sold us all over the world. Y'all sold us everywhere. 60% went to South America. Why don't Africans apologize for enslaving their own people and selling them?
She also launched 2 task force research teams to study Boston's role in slavery and its long impact on descendants.
So we still suffer from the trauma of those instances, and even today, dealing with racism.
On Saturday, this group called on the white church in Boston to support the black community for its association in slavery.
Today we call upon this city, its financiers, and its white churches to stop the shirking, stop the lying, tell the truth, and pay what is owed.
Organizers say the next step is to engage in conversation with white church leadership directly.
Black people, y'all, this is why black people ain't never gonna make it as a group. Ain't never gonna make it. Y'all still, faith leaders have still not forgiven white people. How do you live as a faith leader in unforgiveness? That's why we can't make it. That's why it seems as if black people in America are cursed. Because I feel like we're harboring unforgiveness. God told us that we need to forgive other people, or God in heaven will not forgive us. This is what God has proclaimed, that you should be forgiving other people. Y'all still ain't forgave white people of slavery. All these white people that gave black people opportunities over the years, and y'all still, all them white people that died in the civil rights, in the Civil War, can that be atonement enough? Hundreds of thousands of white men died that led to the freedom of black people. All them white Republicans voted for black people to be free. The North never had slaves. They never had slaves. They're talking about the participation in the slave trade. They never had slaves. Slavery was illegal in the North. What are we even saying? Indentured servants in the North, in many cases, came out wealthier than white migrants that came over here, because indentured servants had a plan of action when they finished their indentured servitude. Many of them, if they didn't get screwed, many of them had land, money payouts, all of that. White people that came over here, they had nothing. They was poor, starving and everything. Black people in indentured service were at a higher class than the white people who came over here, migrants. And back in the day, voting was on property ownership. Black people that owned property could vote over white people that didn't own property. Like we got our history so screwed up, and these ignorant Negroes sit around and spend their whole life begging. Stop begging white people. They ain't got nothing to do with your education. Black men are killing each other every day. That had nothing to do with white people. Have black people atone for the sins that black people are doing against other black people in modern history in the last 40 years, 50, 60 years. What are we even talking about, man? Black men kill other black men in a 6-month period that's superseded the entire history of lynching in America. The 68-year history of lynching is 3,200 people were lynched according to the lynching records. You can double that. Who cares? Double it. Black men still kill more black men in 1 year than double the amount of recorded lynchings in 68-year history of this country. Do you know how many brothers are killing brothers? More so than white people could ever dream of. We average about 6,000 people are murdered. Black people murdering each other every single year. Just through 10 years. That's 60,000 black people being killed in the last 10 years. We ain't gonna even talk about abortion. That is millions and millions and millions of the black babies destroyed forever, ruining our ability to grow our population. But let's do 20 years. That's 120,000 black people being murdered by other black people. That number is astronomically higher than any recorded number of white people killing black people outside of slavery. What are we even saying, y'all? What are we even talking about? They just still begging about something that happened 100 years ago. Get your together. That's like a man, a 40-year-old man still talking about his girlfriend when he was 18 is the reason why he ain't never did nothing in his life. You know how stupid that sounds? That's dude, 40, 50 years old. Talking about, man, that girl, you know, that when I was 18, man, that girl, she really ruined my life, man. I ain't never been able to get my life together because that girl, when I was 18, you 50, bro. You had a lot of time to figure that out. You jumped over your whole life history to go back to an 18-year-old. That girl ain't got nothing to do with your happiness. That girl ain't got nothing to do with your prosperity. Y'all killing each other. Y'all not teaching your kids. You smashing and dashing and leaving your kids without a father. That had nothing to do with the white man. All these other religions, all of the other races are doing fine. Chinese ain't begging for nothing. Jews ain't begging for nothing. In the South, it was blacks and Jews can't come in here. What the Jews doing? They asked for reparations? Shut the front door. And Jewish people experienced Holocaust, which was way more modern than slavery. They ain't out here complaining. I'm gonna reparations. They're gonna get a $15 billion payout. Listen, let me tell you this, and I'm gonna shut the front door because I gotta get on the radio. Let's just say they give black people $15 billion. What they gonna do with the money? Come on, somebody. What they gonna do with the money? You gonna invest in the stock market? So that means the government gave black people enough money to put money into other Fortune 500 companies. That's all it is. That's a transfer of wealth. The government has given people money to provide to these companies in the stock market, in the S&P 500. That's nothing but the government giving the S&P 500 companies more money. What are you gonna do, buy property? Yeah, let Boston give black people $15 billion. The market value of property is going to go up, skyrocket. Why? Because people may have cash to buy these houses outright. You got cash to buy, they're going to hike the price up. And black people are going to be purchasing real estate at a higher price than the real estate is worth because they got cash. And you know who can get rich? The people who currently own real estate. Not the people who are buying it, the people who currently own. Where's she going to do your money? In a black bank? Well, if you don't have good credit, you don't qualify. Black people ain't finna just give you a loan and go in the bank gonna go under because you ain't paying the loan back. That's not gonna happen. If you don't teach financial literacy, then what's gonna happen? Now let's talk about this. All these black dads that ain't in their kid life, when you get that $15 billion, is that gonna go to child support? Is that gonna go to child support? Does that count as income? You got $2 million in your bank account, you still owe baby mama child support. She gonna go back to court and say he had $2 million worth of income, I need at least $600,000. So do you have to pay taxes on that reparation money? So if you have to pay taxes on reparation money, it go on to taxes, child support, and you're going to invest your money in Fortune 500 companies that already exist. How does that make black people more wealthy? That ain't bringing daddy home. $15 billion given to black people ain't going to make daddy come home. And it ain't going to make a teacher teach better. It ain't going to make kids pay attention in class. It's not going to make a brother look at another brother and say, I'm going to kill you or not kill you. None of it makes sense. Black people quit it. Stop. Right now, stop it. Y'all done made me crazy. I'll see you on the next one.